Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to day 7 of the Brighter Shores live streams, the 1 month long of the Monument Grind. So of course, we are officially 1 week in. It has been 1 week since the update. Oddly enough, we did not get a new leak today. I guess they were so busy with last week's stuff that they weren't able to get one out this week. Maybe they announced that at some point. But what we do know is likely coming next week though, is the fishing bounties. They end up mentioning it somewhere in all this mess that next week we will be getting the fishing bounties, so as long as that doesn't get delayed, yeah, we'll have that in exactly 1 week from today. As far as today is concerned, as well as tomorrow, I won't have as much time to be around today just from catching up on stuff. Tomorrow I have a dentist appointment where I probably won't be able to talk at all, but I'll probably still do a short stream. Might just be no audio though. I don't know, we'll see. But beyond that, yeah, we are currently still obviously on the Monument Grind. We've recently gotten tier 6. And we are at the point that we basically have to start banking everything we ever touch. However, because we are at that point, we are now at the point that we're constantly getting new supplies. Like the thing that we're about to pick up right here, for example, is something that we need for these enrage potions. So I'll actually be able to go and make a couple of those today. And I'll do a little bit of alchemy grinding off stream within the next, the few days that we're not really able to play as much, as it's a bit more AFK'd and doing Forger as well. So should end up working out pretty nicely, as I hopefully can during that time do all my alchemy up to level 23 within the next few days. We're on stream, we'll still kind of just mess with a little bit of Forager, but with all the downtime while I'm AFKing the next few days where I won't be able to play as much, I will try to get to like 23-ish, so that we're at the point that all the upcoming supplies that we're going to be getting in the near future, we will be able to go and actually end up utilizing and go make directly into potions. Like for example, this one makes the enrage potion right there at level 6, we can see right there. That would be this enrage potion. I was buying supplies at one point, however now we got them all banked. We got like 200 something just sitting in here banked, as we can see right now. Off stream we end up getting a good majority of these. We've shown the gameplay loops before, but as far as off stream, didn't get like that many. But I think we have like 350 here in the pondweed, which we'll get a little bit more of. We have like 356, so perfect, yeah. So they're both pretty much evened out now. However, of course, there are other things that we're getting in the near future that are going to be able to help us a lot. We can see at our next unlock in like 2.5 levels, we are going to get access to healing potions. And of course, what do you need for healing potions? Kelp, as well as those wall plants. Which means off stream, I might try to combining some combat with the wall plants as well, so we can get all the wall plants. As of course, we'll have like infinite kelp, but almost 0 wall plants, so that'll be a little bit of an issue. Got to figure out how to make up for the rest of those. I guess we'll go a little bit wide here. I kind of want to do a big circle and grab everything. I'm just not sure if I should grab shells during this. Shell is still good XP, but I'm not sure. Let me see what the XP difference is between these two. If this is actually worth it. Also, I kind of want to double the potato, as I do feel like we still banked a little bit too low in tier 5 potato, and I kind of want to grab them while doing circles here, now that we actually need to go and bank everything, unlike before. So now that we're banking everything, yeah, we can hopefully get the rest of the tier 5 potatoes that I kind of neglected when we were doing the original routes, since we were doing so many drop cycles earlier. But hello Tyrion, hello Cariato, hello Vernaus, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. My sleep schedule's still all over the place, by the way. Like, everything with this channel was so much more delayed. Because it's between the Super Bowl and the electricity going out the other day has set my entire week's schedule, or at least recently, just like way back compared to what it was. But hopefully we could repair it in the next few days. But yeah, my sleep schedule's been all over the place. And now tomorrow it's going to be off too, because I'll probably still have some pain from the tooth thing. So yeah, it's just never going to end. Hopefully by next weekend we'll have our sleep schedule back to normal. That's soon. Alright, but yeah, we'll go do the cycle back into the middle. I was going to try to get 6 pondweed into this. The route that I'm doing right now makes me not able to grab pondweed though. Oh no, what did we get rid of? I guess we can get rid of all shells. It's going to pain me to not grab any shell. But if we're just talking about alchemy supplies right now, I should probably be grabbing... what did we grab? Did we just grab the starfish? That's gonna be so weird. The problem is what I need to go do for this route would make me go through one room where I grab absolutely nothing, which just feels like such a waste. But if I want to do the route that I'm trying to do, we're gonna have 9 from the pond, technically 10, because we're gonna have 6 pondweed. One of them's gonna get doubled, so that's 7. We're gonna grab 3 of the little water lily, so that's 10. We grab 6 kelp, that's 16. And then I grab 6 potato, actually 7. So that would hit the cap then, because that would bring it to, what, 23? So I then need like 1 object. Okay, that will be our path then. Is that the greatest thing we could be doing for XP right now? No. However, it does get me all the items I want. So, yeah, it's going to be 6 kelp, 7 potato, 7 pondweed, 3 water lily, and then, like, 1 extra object. I can grab, like, 1 thing that's, like, 0 tile across the entire thing. We'll figure it out once we get there. We're definitely a sports ball fan. No, I'm not big on sports. The only reason we did the Super Bowl was, you know, it's the Super Bowl. I pretty much never watch any sports. But yeah, as far as goal for today, it's mostly just to get like 2 levels to go get to water lily. I mean, not water lily, wall plant, I mean. I don't really have too ambitious of a goal since we don't have too much time. Probably be around for like an hour. I also want to go start doing some of our potions as well. So we will be getting on that potion cycle. Also, I guess I'll grab this 1 shell because this shell should be 0 tile. Though I do need to grab the kelp from the side so we don't waste a tile here though. Yeah, this one should be 0 tile, I'm pretty sure. Since we're just going to have to walk past that angle anyways. And then we grab this kelp from the side. Don't bother doubling it because we want double potato. Grab this. It's going to pain me, but I got to walk through this room without touching anything. It hurts. Oh, all the 1 tile loot. It hurts. A triple 1 tile. But yeah, I got to ignore all of them. This route very specifically needs to ignore them. Otherwise, we're going to have too much in our inventory. I guess we could pick them up and remember to drop them. But then we got to remember to drop them. Which is not going to happen. Yeah, surprisingly, not that many people in my family are big sports fans. There's almost no one in my family who really watches sports that often. I think one of my uncles do, and that's about it. I think we got our plan all sorted. It's not great for XP, but every supply here I'm going to use other than that 1 shell. All of these kelps we're going to make into healing potions, as these are our best healing potions we're going to have for quite a while. All these potatoes will be used for tier 5 cooking, because I didn't do as many on our previous cycle, so we're going to grab them now. These water lilies, while not the greatest, we can use for our best in slot combat potion. So out of any ingredient we could be grabbing from tier 5, this is probably one of the more useful ones. And beyond that, yeah, that's everything. Actually, you know what? Instead of the shell, I could go grab a starfish. The starfish goes with these. I guess it doesn't really matter because I have, like, infinite banked already. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what the number is, but there's no way we have more water lily than starfish. There's, like, 0% chance that's the case. Wait, did I miscount? I thought this was full inventory. Where did I go wrong? Oh, wait. How did I only grab 5? Oh! I calculated it based on grabbing 6 kelp. We don't actually grab the 6-1. It's way too far away. Oh. I was wondering why that was off. I didn't forget anything. It's that, the 6 kelp is over there, but it's too far to route ever. Unless you're doing, like, flounder or something, I guess. I see what happened. So that means I gotta grab 1 more item, basically. Well, all those 0 tile items, we get to use one of them, I guess. I guess I'll make it a starfish just to make it even. Instead of making it double shell or something. I was gonna say, where did the 1 item go? It's because, I thought I forgot the kelp, but no, we're deliberately not taking that kelp. It's too far off route. I don't think it's worth running that many tiles just for it. If it was like an insane ingredient, maybe we would, but, you know, they're just healing potions. We can live with 1 less per inventory. They're great, but we don't need to go that far just for 1. So what we'll do instead is this shell right here. We get a 0 tile, but since it's already on our path. There we go. It doesn't matter that it's a different resource, because when you do deposit all, you don't have to do them 1 at a time, which is really good. Otherwise, if we still had to, like back in the day, we would go for shell instead. Just so we'd have to do that 1 less time. But luckily, with the deposit all button that they've had for about half a year now, or however long it's been, yeah, you don't need to do that anymore. Whereas in the past, the more resources you had, the longer it would take to bank. Right now, you just click one deposit all button and you're good to go. We just need one step further now. Right-click deposit all, we'll be good to go. But deposit all makes it so it doesn't really matter if you have a high variety. You could have like 20 different items and would still bank just as quick as if you had, you know, all of the same item. So we don't need to worry about getting multiple of the same instead. We just grab whatever we want. Which is one thing that's really nice about Forager. It is really customizable for what you want. And right now, for example, we're only really grabbing stuff that we really need for the production skills that we have going on right now. Like, this is not the best rate of knowledge or XP that we could be doing right now. But pretty much every supply we're touching, except that one shell, we will be utilizing at some point. And I guess technically some of these starfish I won't be using at this level range. Now, if this was tier 6, we would be. But tier 5, I don't know. I'm just grabbing some extra in case we do end up doing them. They're a really good potion for our class. But they're really bad XP for our alchemy is the problem. But, you know, if we already had them banked, it's like, I might as well just AFK them for an hour or two. Because I probably have like 2 hours worth of them banked. Also, excuse me. Hello, Jets. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, don't worry. We'll be doing the Gems of War stream later tonight. Just wanted to get our daily Brighter Shores in a little bit. And we'll be back to normal, like, longer Brighter Shores probably by Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully Wednesday, but there's a chance I won't be able to on Wednesday and it'll still be Thursday then. But definitely by Thursday, fingers crossed, we should be back to normal schedule. And start really pushing the monument grind again. Because most of the time, off stream for the next few days is mostly going to be getting alchemy and AFK combat. Because one thing that we'll be making a ton from this alchemy grind too is a ton of AFK potions, which of course we'll utilize some. And I also want to get to the point where we can take out the, or AFK to the point where we can take out the Death Crow. As that does have synergy with the next thing we need to go get, which is actually our main goal for today, is to get to Wall Plant. But those Wall Plants is what we actually need the Death Crow synergy for. And it'll be one of our best times to go and get levels for it. And you know what you use those Wall Plants for? It's used for this healing potion with all the kelp. So we end up, all the kelp that we end up getting here, which will be way more than however many Wall Plants we get. It'd be a good idea to try to stay at Wall Plants while doing combat so we have more of a reason to actually do Wall Plants. As doing Wall Plant only is really, really, really bad. But doing Wall Plant plus combat is actually pretty good. There's a bank just one room away. You can keep taking the triple spawn every single time you get your kill. It actually is really, really good synergy. It's one of the few times where Wall Plant isn't just complete trolling taking it. The other time would be whenever they finally get bounties. As if they put the bounty in that area, it would be the closest one to the bounty spot, if nothing else. So it might actually be worth taking then. But whenever they do forager bounties, as well as while doing it while doing combat, are like the only 2 times it'd be worth doing. Otherwise, Wall Plants are just so bad, same as Periwinkle. It's the main issue with all these shells on the beach too. They're such good XP for the skill. But inversely, they are so bad for making potions from. Because Periwinkle are so annoying to get. Like, the shells are free. You get those so automatically. So there's a good chance the Periwinkles just be bought from a shop. But Wall Plant we can do while doing combat synergy, which makes me kind of wanted to go for it. Not only that, they're weak to blue. Which, of course, our class is blue, so we get even more of an advantage on them. And actually, one really nice thing about running Cryonite in this area, I'm not sure what the other one's distributions are, but Cryonite's distribution is actually kind of good. While all the enemies that are really, really good are all the way at the end, the things that are weak to blue are pretty evenly distributed. Death Crows being weak at blue near the beginning, and then the plant being weak to blue in the middle. Plus, it's a stationary unit, so you can get free hits on it at the beginning. Which ends up making Cryonite's path through Chapter 1 pretty clean. As you always have something that you can push higher for. Or be able to AFK that you can utilize the weakness on. I'm pretty sure the other ones can kind of do that too. Because if I look at Hammer Mage's disparity, it seems kind of similar actually. Because Hammer Mage can start doing this Goblin, which is weak to yellow. But then also has, oh no, Hairpiece isn't weak to yellow. Never mind, they're both side to side. Yeah, yellow's really bad. It's doubled up. What about green? Green is Ghoul and Thief. Okay, Guardian is pretty good distribution. Hammer Mage is awful. Cryonite is like perfect with distribution. And it looks like Guardian's pretty good too. Because they get Thief with those XP pot thingies. Which I'm not sure how that works in the most recent update. As I've actually killed a single Thief since the new update. because they're immune to blue, so I haven't really been able to. They're like the only thing we'd want to not kill in this area. So I've been avoiding them. They're weak to blue and, they're immune to blue and weak to the only thing I can't really do damage for that well. So they're really bad for us to take. But I'm not sure what kind of EXP pot they would give at this level range. I almost feel like they would give me a 14%. We'll find out, as I will kill some small amount of them. I just gotta make sure we don't use our big blue sword, otherwise we'd be trolling. As 86% of the time we'd be doing 0 damage. But I do need to check them out at some point just to see what their drop table is like. At least we have a green weapon for range. It's just with the limited ammo, we can only do that for so long. So I'm gonna need a physical weapon that's not this two-hand. I will likely get something. Probably from the Death Crows, we'll get some kind of weapon that I can just run, even so it's just like a 2-star of any kind. As long as it's not a blue weapon, we'll be fine. Because I do kind of want to see what their drop table looks like after the update. Because there's a possibility they drop 14% XP pots for this chapter. Which goes without saying would be very, very, very helpful for knowledge points. So killing some small amount of them might actually be worthwhile. Even though our class is really bad at killing them. Because I don't have access to 14%. The best we're going to have for this entire grind is 11%. So if I can kill some and get some 14% and save them for knowledge points, that'd be really nice. As that's a 3% boost over what the best thing we'd have access to. So I'm going to check that out once our combat level's a little bit higher. Probably not in the next few days, but at some point somewhat soon, I do kind of want to check. Because able to have a third potion at 14% would be really, really nice to have. But no, we'll find out later. But that would definitely be the strat, so we'd be able to get even more value from every double knowledge point we use. It's not too big of an improvement, but you know, 3% twice, that starts to add up. And while Forager does give you the supplies to make the bigger ones, I will not, during this grind, have the alchemy level for it. Well, we will be doing some alchemy grind. Our alchemy's not going to get to tier 7 from what we're doing. We're going to have a hole that we're not going to bother filling until after the 500 Forager grind. So all these potions right here that we're getting at this tier are the final ones we'll be able to actually utilize immediately. Every other potion will just be saving for the future. Which also means we gotta guesstimate XP rates. Which is one of the things I kind of want to check both, you know, on stream, off stream. Is kind of check the XP rate of what we're getting. To see what the disparity is going to be like. Like what percent ratio of each resource do we kind of need to start getting levels. Not counting offsetting it with like Chronopolis potions or something. I kind of want to see like what percentage of resources we need throughout this grind. Just to see like what percent of healing pots do we need, what percent of hope pots do we need, you know, so on and so forth. Because you can't do it based on number because the number is going to keep going up. But if we do it based on total percent of number, we can kind of figure out like, oh, we're going to need like this percent for next tier and this percent for next tier, so on and so forth. As far as like what percent of the total amount of resources gathered are needed for that given potion. The worst comes to the worst, just grabbing everything and banking it should be fine. This is a level range with how they balance it, that I would assume that if we gathered everything for gather here, we should be a pretty smooth transition all the way through. The only one that's probably not going to go all the way to the next one with the natural amount is in Rage Potion. Mostly because it has to go 10 levels with only one potion. Because the other two we don't get. The other two are from Chapter 2 and 5. So we're going to have like a little bit of a weird hole there. But aside from that, everything else, if we just gathered and banked everything, I think we're going to be fine. Like, we're not really going to hit a wall where it's like, oh, you need to grab, like, 10% more of this or 20% more of this. Not counting that very first potion, they should all be pretty consistent. With that first one not being just because there's 2 other potions there that we're not going to be able to touch at all. Which means I could gather more of them, but they're both pretty bad XP, unfortunately. At least once you start getting access to kelp. There's just a really small level range where you could ever do them. It's just too small of a range to ever do the whole 10 levels for. Luckily for this tier 6, I have so many other potions I can do. And the way that we'll offset it in future tiers is Chronopolis potions. We'll be able to go do the 100 stacks of the Chronopolis potion from the passive. And because obviously by then we'll have a third venture slot. Which realistically is going to be double venture in Chapter 4 for the merchant stuff. Like for cinnamon sticks and grapes. Or eventually down the line for brick and tile. But for now it'll be cinnamon sticks and grapes. But we'd be doing that, and then the third one would just be oyster, like it is now. And depending on our level range, we could also do double oyster into one merchant one. But more often than not, it's probably going to be double merchant into oyster. And if we ever get a fourth, it would probably be, honestly, 4 merchant, if we're not already maxed. Because I'm going to need the cinnamon sticks and grape for really good, very cheap and very good alchemy XP. as well as the brick and tile for Chapter 5. The biggest issue with that, though, is obviously, for one, you can't do brick and tile yet. But the other issue with brick and tile is we don't know how useful brick and tile is going to be. Like, we know you need them for Chapter 5, we just don't know, you know, are you going to need a couple hundred? Going to need a couple thousand at a given level range? If we get like 10,000, is that like way too many and we're just going to have to sell them later? There's a lot we don't know since we're basically gathering something for a activity we don't even know how it's going to work or how many you need or anything about it. Other than that it's going to give us builder XP. Like, that's the only thing we know. It's going to save us money while getting builder XP is literally the only thing we know. But it's probably going to be a pretty expensive skill. If I had to guess, builder is probably going to be like top 3 most expensive skill in the game. Like smithing and stonemason level of expensive to level. We have no way of knowing for sure, but it seems like it's going to be around there. Good chance armor maker is also going to be like that. Armor maker and builder have a really good chance of being as expensive as smithing and stonemason. Unless they get a lot of passive activities that are really cheap or free to do. The one thing that might save builder is you can currently get cement from bone rate AFKs that feed into a builder AFK. So if they have that plus at least one passive that just gives you money, like repairing someone's house or something, or however it work, then it shouldn't be that bad. Because then it's set up the same way that smithing is. Where you're going to have a ton that probably just burn money like crazy. One similar to like these horseshoes where you just make pure profit. And then one where you need another resource, aka the cement from Chapter 4. Sorry, from Chapter 3, I mean. That you would then use for the one passive. So it's going to probably be set up really similar to smithing in that regard. Most likely. Unless they set up like multiple free ones. Kind of like how Leatherworker is. I think Leatherworker has 2 free activities now. As bookbinding, but it also has all the furniture building, which gives it a double free option. Oops, I meant to grab the starfish on this path. I guess I grab the one tile off. It's not that big a deal. I guess I could also just grab the shell. I don't want my starfish, though. It's going to bother me so much if it's 2-0 instead of 1-1. We've done so many 1-1 routes that it has to stay 1-1 now. Even if I gotta waste a tile to do it. Ideally, we'd take the one that's 0 tile, but I'll take the 1 tile one. These will drive me crazy if they're uneven. Not because they need to be even, but I don't know, it just needs to be even. Oh, he's over level 1000. Look at his cool stuff. That's going to be our weapon in 49 more levels. That's what our big 2-hand looks like in 49 more levels and then forever. But we're still 49 levels away from having max tier Cryonite stuff. We've actually never had any iteration of the game yet. We'll have it for the first time in a couple weeks from now. I want to get it before the end of the 500 Forager grind. From all the passive, or from all the combat we'll be doing mixing in between Forager. But yeah, we're still using 1 tier below max visually. Stats-wise, it doesn't like spike up or anything. But the final visual version is at 1000, aka Milestone 20. Technically, I need to go a little bit higher than that because even if I get there, I'm still going to need to get the drop. And unless we get like a max rarity one, like a 4, or like a 4-star or something, I won't be able to get it from this guy because this guy's at level 0. So even once we hit 1000, we're still going to need to get at least to Death Crow killing, because Death Crow, everything it spits out should be the max tier stuff, like visually. Whereas a lot of the stuff the Sparring Guard drops, unless it's doing max level, will not give it to me. So we're going to have to do Death Crow to be able to get it more consistently. So basically every 1-star and definitely every 2-star and 100% every 3 and 4-star would end up being the actual high rarity stuff, not to mention, or the high visual stuff. Not to mention, I think this thing has a rarity modifier. Let me double check. Yes, it has a 50% rarity modifier. Whereas the thing before is at base value. The rarity of it doesn't matter in the sense of visually, currently. However, obviously we still want better stuff. If we're going to be grinding some gear, we ideally want it to be, better gear. Even though tier 1 will look the same as tier 4. But it's the level of the gear that matters, and if we get higher rarity stuff, the reason why this matters is higher rarity stuff rolls the higher numbers more consistently. particularly tier 3 and tier 4 that I believe auto rolls highest number. Or tier 3 doesn't, but tier 4 definitely does. If you get a tier 4 drop, it always rolls the highest number. So, yeah, we're going to need that when we do that grind later. Just to make it more consistent. Because we'll need to kill way less Death Crows compared to Sparring Guards to get the same visual amount of gear. This Death Crow should be about 50% quicker. Even more so because they're weak to blue. So even over 50% quicker. Because the modifier says 50%, but we also kill them quicker due to the blue weakness. So it's close to like 60% even. But our goal at this point is to get one more level, do a very small amount of wall plant, and then I guess make some of the potions just real quick just to kind of show some of the progress. Now that pretty much everything we touch is actually usable, might as well actually, you know, use some of it. I won't be using the passive potions on stream, obviously. The AFK 7-minute potions. But we'll come make a few. If nothing else, at least get an alchemy level. We gotta go get an alchemy level. We're like one inventory away from an alchemy level. Gotta at least touch it. Can't just leave it hanging there. And then off stream, I'll process the few hundred we need to go do. Maybe make some tier 5 stuff as well. Mostly for the cryonate potions, oddly enough. This potion right here. Because I can start using plus 80s. These were originally what max potion was. But now we can make it with what we already have banked. It's not the greatest XP, but the potion itself is really useful for killing the Death Crows. So I kind of want to make a handful of them and see if we, maybe if we can even kill them this stream. Because I need the one-time bonus anyways, might as well do at least one inventory. But I might even do a little bit more than that, just so we can, not necessarily for the XP, but just so we can have some good supplies to kill Death Crows with. Because the best you can buy from the shop, I think, is like a plus 50. And this was originally the max level of boost potion in the previous state of the game. Now it goes to plus 100. But plus 80 is still really, really, really strong. I've actually never even gotten to use one before. As I think the highest we could have made in the previous format was like a plus 70, I think? A plus 60 or a plus 70? At least for blue, anyways. Like, I never got to the point for blue where I was able to make a max potion. And this is what previous max strength would have been. Which we never actually got to experience yet for our primary color. I think we got them for green because they were way earlier on in the leveling system before. But now that they're all more even and, you know, there's one in like every single tier. Yeah, we can make the previous max and then eventually work towards, you know, the new max that's 20 higher. Also, stuff like that, keeping some amount of those supplies banked, probably going to be really good for alchemy contracts. That's actually something to consider when I'm making the potions. Not to use all the supplies. Keep some X amount banked. So that when alchemy bounties come out in half a year from now, we'll be ready to go. No, I hope they push them out at least like one a month or something. We know we're getting fishing bounties probably in a week from now unless they delay it. But hopefully the other bounties come at a pretty similar pace. Where like every month it's a new bounty. Same as world events. Hopefully it'll get to the point where they can start doing a world event a month. And just alternate between them or something. Because they're starting to get to the point where they're releasing content every 2 weeks. Like obviously last week was the big Milestone update. This upcoming week should be the fishing bounties. And then 2 weeks from that should be an update. And then 2 weeks from that should be an update. They seem to be doing like a 2-week cycle now. We don't know what's coming after fishing bounties in 3 weeks though. But next week, this month, or you know, Monday of next week should be fishing bounties. So during that stream, we will be taking a little bit of a break from Forager grind, and we'll be doing the fishing bounties instead. I'll probably still put it into playlist and do a little bit of both. I don't know, maybe we'll just make the thumbnail entirely the fishing thing. There's a good chance we'll just do the fishing bounties for like 2 hours and just not do any foraging that day. Take a foraging day break. Because that'd be the first and possibly only day during this whole grind where we don't do forager. Unless the week 2 weeks out, unless is the update 2 weeks after that is something else we you know take a day off for on the forager grind. But otherwise, every other stream will be just all in forager then. But when the fishing bounty day comes out, we'll just do like a 2-hour, 3-hour stream just dedicated just to fishing bounties. I don't plan to grind fishing bounties though. I'll grab them here and there when they're on the message board, because the board for it, you actually automatically route there when going to Oyster. So every single day that I'm doing Oyster, which should be literally every day, we can get free fishing bounties. It's one of the easiest bounty boards to get to, similar to the outside merchant board. So we should be able to just passively get fishing bounties that we can keep poking. And by then I'd go clear out all my cooking bounties. And we'll replace this with just like a bunch of high tier fishing bounties that we'll grab when doing forager routes or something. Because that's likely how we're realistically going to be doing them after next week, or after that one day. That one day we'll like spam them a bit, assuming they are spammable. But then after that, we're pretty much only doing them in synergy with forager. Whenever we can almost like 0 time a given fish, we'll go grab them and be good to go. The only 2 problems with that is eel and pufferfish are nowheres on route. Every other fish, yes, but eel and puffer are in the middle of nowhere compared to most forager routes. Is the only big problem with that. But everything else we can get pretty much 0 time. Like right now there's flounder, in the other room there's bass. If we went like a little bit further, we'd get to cod. The room after that's manta ray, then gurnard. Like they're all pretty much on top of each other. And even the 2 new ones of like salmon and trout in the area and sardine, they're all in the bone zone. So if you're doing either 2 of the bone zone, you'd be good to go. It's not really to the higher level range, but you can still cycle some good stuff in there at most ranges. Particularly since you get to go there again at level 20. Because at 20 you get the nettle there, that's really good. It's not as good as beach stuff, but you do need to bank some out of it. If you would do that while also doing fishing bounties passively while just walking by, that'd be kind of good. The problem is we don't really know how many we'll need to do for other bounties though. Because for something like, I don't know, merchant, it's always 6. You always need to do 6. For something like cooking, it's anywhere from 1 to, like, what, 9? 10? 10, I think it's 10. You gotta do anywhere from 1 to 10. We don't currently know exactly how fishing will be set up in that regard. Like, are we gonna have to catch, like, 30 of a fish or something? Are we gonna have to deliver it to anyone? Or do we just catch it? Are there gonna be both, where we have to do catch only and then other ones are, like, delivered to someone? Because obviously any delivery one is really annoying. Even more so for fishing compared to cooking. As not only do you have to fish at a different location, but then obviously you'd also probably have to deliver to a different location. But hopefully it's just catch only or something. Or they have a mix where we'd probably primarily focus the catch onlys unless the other ones are better rarity. Because I keep wanting to click the double button every time I see that there. It is so tempting. Gotta resist the shiny free XP button. As if I use it here, I can't use it on the pondweed. And the pondweed is currently way better XP than these. Well, maybe not way better, but better enough that we should be doing it on pondweed. But yeah, I'm not sure why there wasn't a weekly leak today. I guess they were just kind of busy with, the update, so they didn't bother making one. I'm not sure if they mentioned that ahead of time or not. Or just got so busy that they just didn't have the time to make one, which makes sense. They did an update on 4 different days today, or this week. One was obviously the big update day a week ago, and then 3 days straight they did update patches. So it makes sense that they didn't have a weekly leak. Since all their time was allocated towards the patch itself. Oh, excuse me. I think we can get another 8% here, and then we'll use the bigger one on the next set. And we just got to get 1 more level. After a double knowledge point, probably like half a level. Though then they're in another tier. Those knowledge points definitely are impacting a bit less. You can kind of see it as you keep moving up. Due to the active EXP bonus. Every single tier is doing less and less, it feels like. Not sure the exact amount of knowledge points that you need at every given tier, but it seems to be slowly moving upwards. It's still lower than the 16 we otherwise would have needed. Not counting, XP boosts or something. Like XP pots. Like, it's nowhere near at 16 yet, but it's definitely increasing each time. Who knows, maybe we'll get to 16 by the end, or even higher than 16. But it's not quite there yet. We're still at a point where... And I'm not sure if we're ever going to reach a point where it doesn't do that. But we're still at a point where it's quicker than before the update. So hello, Tansin. Welcome, welcome. I've always been well. But even though we're at level 306, this is still quicker leveling than pre-update. It's still slow, but it's still quicker than before, despite it still be kind of slow. Obviously, it was still going to take forever to get a 500. It's not like they're just going to give free 500s after the rework. Oh, there's Jake the dog again. I've seen him literally every day, and I'm not sure how, but his level's like not moving, barely. Like we've seen him at low level 300 like 5 days straight now. I don't know, is early game leveling that much slower? That or he might just be playing for like an hour a day and we just happen to catch him like every time. He's in the last week he's gained like 20-ish levels, if even that. Whereas just for Forger alone the last week, I know we've been playing kind of crazy numbers though. Not like over the top crazy, but definitely probably above average. But yeah, we did get what, almost 100 Forger levels in 1 week. Pretty close. But I think we're at like 80 or 90 Forger levels in a week at this point. Despite yesterday almost not grinding at all. And today also almost not grinding at all. So almost just in 5 days we end up getting 100 Forger levels at our level range. And early game should be quicker than that. I don't see why it wouldn't. Especially if you're doing it at like, you know, level like 30. Or, you know, milestone 30 in tier 0. Because that's one thing I haven't gotten to experience yet. Maybe I should have messed with that in milestone update. I just felt like it'd be a little bit of a waste of time. But I didn't actually test to see what the level 0 experience is like. I got to see tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 and 4 and such on my alt accounts. So even though I don't have it, I got to see it on my 2 alts when we've been messing around with stuff off stream, just getting their knowledge points, everything else. But I haven't actually gotten to experience tier 0 in the new format at all. And I have no way of doing so because all my alts, or you know, my 2 alts are above tier 0. I'd have to go make like a new Steam file to go and check it if I wanted to. But I never actually got to experience tier 0 in a new format because I didn't bother doing it in the beta, and I have none of my alts are at that level range. They're all at tier 1 or above for everything. Alright, I put that into Forger, then Forger again. But I assume tier 0 would be pretty quick. Because tier 0 would also encompass the original 0, or you know, 1 to 20 system from before. Or 0 to 20, whatever it was. So I assume tier 0 should just like speed by like nothing. The first several levels might be a little bit longer, but like the overall tier, like I'm pretty sure getting to level 50 now should still be quicker than it was before. But I never actually got to experience it, so I have no clue. Like, the first several levels might be slower, but the overall experience to 50 would probably be quicker. Not to mention, there's so many quests that you can do for Quest XP, too, if you keep track of them. Especially in the earlier chapters, that are filled out a lot more nicely, as far as getting Quest XP for them. Like, particularly Chapter 1. There's a lot of areas that you can very specifically get XP in early. Especially since they had that one star side quest as well. What would make you remove one of your alts to create a new character? Oh, I never would. I would never delete any of these 3 profiles. If I were ever to try new game, we would just do it during a beta or make another Steam account. Realistically, I would just do it during an open beta that they do at some point in the future. Because that way you could do it just through the beta itself. Which is very quick since you can just make a profile immediately and be good to go. Hardcore UIM. Honestly, I wish they would add hardcore UIM to old school RuneScape. Because I never got to try Ultimate Iron Man. And when I made my first Iron, I just made it a hardcore and it still hasn't died yet after 3 years. But I would never try Ultimate Iron Man in the current state of old school RuneScape. But if they randomly just were like, okay, we're going to make a hardcore Ultimate Iron Man so you can't abuse, like, death banking and everything, I would make that account in a heartbeat. I would buy a 1-year membership on that thing literally instantly. If they release Hardcore Ultimate Iron Man for old school. Like, I would never even cross my mind to make an Ultimate Iron Man. But if they made a Hardcore Ultimate, I would make that in, like, literally the second it hit the game. But no, this game can't really do stuff like that. I would love to see a Hardcore mode for this game, though. But there's currently no way to do that with how the game is currently set up. It would take at least like 3 to 5+ years of content before they could even consider adding something like that to this game. Like, literally the only thing that can kill you in the game right now is disconnect. There's not a single thing in Brighter Shores that can kill you otherwise. Currently. At least if you're trying not to die specifically, of course. Obviously, a lot of times in the current state of Brighter Shores, you actually die deliberately. As you get teleported straight to where you sell all your gear. So sometimes it's actually advantageous to die, oddly enough, in the current state of the game. They did mention for some content in the future that they would likely have more punching mechanics. Dungeons might be the first thing that we actually see that for. And or future bossing. But they did mention for other stuff in the future, you know, there would actually be a cost to death of some kind. Either a fee based on your equipment or losing equipment or whatever it ended up being. Likely not losing equipment though. Because I'm not sure if they're still going with it, but one thing that they mentioned for PvP at one point is that it's likely not going to be full loot PvP. Of course, they could change their mind and it might be full loot PvP. But the last thing I recalled them saying on PvP is that it's not going to be full loot. It's almost going to be like a duel arena kind of style kind of thing. But that means that dungeons would likely be similar. Where there's probably no risk to ever lose your gear, but there'd probably be like a silver and or gold cost associated with it. Hello, hello? Oh, there we go. Goodbye. Gotta use up the XP potion while it's ticking down. Go, go, go. Oh, so we only got half a level to go. Yeah, my goal for today wasn't that ambitious, but it's mostly because I don't have that much time. As soon as I end this stream, I'm gonna go grab dinner. Then we gotta do the Gems of War stream that we normally do tonight. Then tomorrow I gotta go get my tooth pulled, and then probably do a silent stream for an hour for this game. Because I still want to get one stream every single day for it. Even if it's gonna be like next Monday, where we're just gonna be doing fishing bounties for a few hours. But during the monument grind, we will still be streaming every day, even if it's only for an hour. Though most days will be longer. But we should be back to normal schedule by Thursday, or Wednesday if my mouth is feeling okay. I'm just not sure how it's gonna feel after getting a tooth pulled that far back. Because I haven't gotten tooth pulled back there since the wisdom teeth came out, so I'm not sure how it's gonna feel. I know though for the wisdom teeth, gosh, that was like so painful for multiple days. But those are wisdom teeth though, they're supposed to feel like that, I'm pretty sure when they come out. They're quite a bit of a different tooth type than, you know, the rest of them. Because I needed like anesthesia and everything when that came out. I had like laughing gas and everything. I still got it done. The main thing that was nice is I got it done while I still had dental insurance or any insurance at all. Because I was still under 25 at the time, so I basically got all that done while it was free still. I was also in a state that was really good for dental at the time. Whereas now I'm in a state that's pretty bad. They keep botching like everything. They can't even do like a filling correctly. Like, I'm not sure if I'm still getting it done here or just what I'm going to do about it. But there's like 4 fillings that have already come out in like a year. Like they just did the other year. And I might have to get redone. That's like almost another 1,000 or something. But it's not from anything I've done. Just doing such a bad job at it. Like, I've never seen a place where fillings have come out like so quickly. I've had several done over the years, and most of them last for, you know, like several years, a decade, even 2 decades. If not even longer. 8 here, I think the average one has lasted like a year and a half or 2 years. I'm not sure what they're doing wrong or what's going on, but something is. We'll be finding out when I get the tooth pulled for the other thing. Because that's actually what one of the fillings, too. Like, they did a filling on that tooth, and then half a year later, it literally broke. And now I gotta get it removed. Because they did the filling incorrectly. It's not like you can sue them. Like, no random person has that kind of money to sue something like that. Plus, I'm pretty sure there's something you sign that would make it so you would probably not end up winning. There's something probably into all the legalese that you sign before you ever go to a place like that that would make it impossible. And the billion documents that they make you sign before you start anything there. At like any medical place. Is there no leak today? Wait, was the leak tomorrow or today? Isn't it supposed to be today? If the leak comes out tomorrow, we'll probably have to go over it on Wednesday or Thursday. Because there's no way I can say what it is. I know, I can maybe try, but there's a good chance I can't talk tomorrow. As well as potentially Wednesday. Oh, I might feel better by Wednesday. I'm just not sure how long it will linger for. But tomorrow I definitely got to rest the jaw. Mostly because it's going to be bleeding. And obviously any movement would make it bleed more. I'm just going to have one of those, whatever that cloth thing is, just to hold it against it all day. Which means anything I need to do if I do something in games, this could be something really AFK like potions off stream. These foragers too non-AFK to hold like one of those cloths up to the tooth. Because if it was like a bottom tooth, it wouldn't be as bad. But since it's a top tooth, it, you know, it like bleeds downwards in a sense. Which is a lot more annoying than if you got like a bottom tooth removed. I think at this point, all we need is a double knowledge point. We're good to go. The final lap, when we do a double knowledge point, should be level 7. And then from there, we could do wall plant, but I kind of want combat synergy with that. So luckily, since we're not doing as much the next few days, or, you know, as far as streaming it, I should be able to AFK combat 7 minutes at a time just by clicking one button and then picking up all the loot. Which should be really easy to do after getting the tooth pulled and everything. So that's probably going to be the main thing I do is AFK combat until I can kill Death Crow. So we could do Death Crow plus wall plant. It's probably going to be one of our main off-stream AFK grind kind of things for tomorrow. Also, tomorrow's stream, similar to today, might be really late in the day, by the way. Because I'm probably not getting back from the dentist until like 1 or 2 o'clock, which is like a few hours ago. And then, you know, I'm going to be in, like, pain and stuff from it to some degree. Plus, I'll be bleeding and everything, so I won't be talking, but I also might not be able to, like, do that much either. I still want to stream at least for 1 hour. It just might be a little bit later in the day for when it doesn't, like, hurt as much, or it maybe stops bleeding, if it stops bleeding that quickly. I'm not sure how long it's going to bleed for. I know normally at least a few hours, if not longer. Because you got to keep it pressed down until it stops bleeding, so it can, you know, clot and, you know, heal. But if it's like claw and healed by like some point by 6 or 7, maybe we just do a later stream for it or something, I'm not sure. We'll definitely do at least an hour or 2 tomorrow though. There's a good chance it's gonna be no commentary though. Which I'm not sure if we've ever done a full no talking Brighter Shore stream, but probably just gonna be a completely silent stream tomorrow. Does AFK combat get interrupted with KP and level up? No. In the sense that it pops up, yes. But when you're using an Enrage Potion, it still keeps going. As long as the Enrage Potion hasn't expired, it keeps going the whole time. You have a bunch of annoying pop-ups that will keep making noises if you gain one during it, like a level up or a knowledge point or anything. But it doesn't actually stop your combat. Like, your XP rate is still exactly the same. It just has an annoying pop-up that keeps popping up every time you get out of combat for a second. But it doesn't actually hurt your XP rate at all. It's just visually and audio-wise very annoying. Because after every kill, just try to force like a billion pop-ups. But otherwise, it doesn't actually hurt your XP rate. If you were actively playing, it would. But with Enrage Potion, with how AFK it is, it's actually no different. Of course, the only downside is they did nerf Enrage Potions that only give 1/3 of knowledge. But at least it's 1/3 instead of 0. It would have been really bad if it was 0. But the 1/3 makes it kind of not horrible. It is still the highest Enrage per click in the game. I mean, the highest knowledge per click in the game. Even though it's at 1/3 the rate, so it's really slow. There's currently no one click you can do in the entire game that's more knowledge than a really high level Enrage Potion. Honestly, even a mid-range one. But if you're using the 10-minute one, that was like crazy long. Even if you're only using, like, let's say a 6-minute enrage potion, even at that level, which is like level, what, 200 something alchemy at tier 5, that's already the highest knowledge per click in the game, even though you're only getting 1/3 the rate for it. Just because there's not too many other single clicks you could do in the game that really give anywhere near that much. Like, not even close. It's actually crazy how high that is, even with the nerfed knowledge rate. It's the highest XP, highest knowledge, highest profit, highest almost everything per click. Not per hour, but per click. There's pretty much nothing stronger than a rage potion, especially if you have a luck potion active. It's actually crazy how much it is. It's worse per hour than playing actively, obviously. But the value per click is off the charts compared to anything else in the game currently. Other than 24-hour passive, of course. Or 23-hour passive, I guess, technically. But not counting 23-hour passive and claiming Adventure, nothing even compares to how much value you get from the single click of an enrage potion in the current state of the game. Especially if you come back and pick up all the loot after and don't let it despawn. It's a 10-minute ground timer, so if you use a 9-minute enrage or lower, as long as you pick up before the, or you know, by the time the range ends, you'll be fine. The only problem are 10-minute enrage potions, where the very first kill you do might despawn if you use a 10-minute, which is kind of unfortunate because it's the highest tier potion. I'm not sure if they're going to extend ground time to work for it a little bit better. But 10-minute enrage is actually worse than 9-minute enrage, oddly enough. Even though it's 1 minute further AFK, it makes it so you might lose some stuff off the ground. So it's 1 minute longer, but you might lose your first drop that you get. But 9-minute would make it so you would never lose anything. So we're going to plan for that accordingly and probably make slightly more tier 8s than tier 9s. Just so we get 9 minutes instead of 8 minutes. Because each one is like 1 minute higher than whatever their tier is. And we kind of want the tier 8s for 9 minutes then. As they're actually stronger than 10-minute, ironically. Not because they're actually stronger, but because of how the ground timer currently works, unless they're going to extend it by a minute or something. Or extend it by 5 minutes to make it 15 or something. Well, with current ground timer, the second to last enrage is better than the final enrage. It's something I brought up in the beta as well, but they, while they made some adjustments to it, they didn't technically fix the highest tier potion in the current state of the game. Or it's still worse than the second highest tier. It's the only potion that's like that. Right, double knowledge points 100% going to be enough here. Which at this point is like, what, 4 more laps? We should be good to go. Like 4 or 5 more laps. Then we double knowledge, do 1 last lap with that boosted up XP rate. And then, yeah, I guess we'll end it just by doing a few potions just to kind of show what we're actually getting from all this. Then to go show the wall plant area that we're going to be doing later. As we're going to be AFK combat, and then... Actually, we can even make some potions to go kill the crows now if we want. We got to kill at least 1 death crow for the first time bonus on stream. That'll be the final boss of the stream. We're going to kill a death crow 5 levels higher than us. Not much of a final boss, but hey. We're a little undergeared. Not like super so. Like rarity-wise, we're fine. Level-wise, we're a little under. Especially for our 4-star stuff. Where even just like a 1-star is almost stronger than these boots right now. 2-star definitely would be. Like if I got a 2-star boot right now, it'd be better than my 4-star one currently. It's so under-leveled. That's one thing that I'm curious how they're going to balance when Armor Maker does come out. Because we know with skill tree and special attacks and stuff that weapons for tier 4 and above are going to be worthwhile like crazy. Because they'll have special attacks on them. But what are they going to do about armor? Because 4-tier armors don't have like any kind of set effect or anything like that. So what's the point of 4-star armor? Like, yeah, it's tankier. But if the benefit of having a 4-star weapon is you get a special attack, and the benefit of 4-star armor is, oh yeah, you're just like slightly tankier. You're only ever going to make weapons. Like, yeah, you'll make some basic armor, like, you know, probably tier 2, maybe some tier 3s, but you're never going to make tier 4 armor if there's not like some reason to. I'm pretty sure by the time chapter 6 comes out, that'll be because you can only enhance like 4-star or higher because they're untradeable. So that's likely the reason why. But until chapter 6 comes out, there's going to be a really awkward time where we're going to get Armor Maker, but it's not worth making anything higher than a 2-star with Armor Maker unless you get lucky with a 3-star. But it will 100% never be worth making a 4-star till chapter 6. Because until that enhancement system comes out, 4-star armor is just way too time consuming to make for how little value it would give you. Until there's some extra benefit to doing so, like being able to add enhancements to them or something. Which should be coming in Chapter 6. Or whatever they're on Earth they're doing in Chapter 6 to improve stuff. It's one of the reasons why 4 stars are untradeable as well. Like, obviously, we're a lone wolf, so we can't trade anyways. But if you had trading enabled, you actually can't trade 4 stars. And assumably 5-star equipment as well. And we don't know exactly why this is, but it's likely due to Chapter 6 enhancement system. Or once you enhance it and everything, they don't really want people trading them because it's just going to be a gigantic mess. With how many extra modifiers and everything you probably have on them. So the solution to that is just don't make them tradable. Maybe some of the material that you use to enhance stuff would probably be tradable. Like whatever the gatherer skill is for Chapter 6, maybe you get a lot of enhancement material from it or something. But, like the enhancement material, probably tradable. But the actual enhanced equipment at 4-star and above, probably not tradable. Like it currently isn't tradable now. It's not confirmed, but, you know, it's likely based on how they have the game set up right now. But of course, even if that is the way, they could change it by the time it comes out, obviously. As we still got a ways before Chapter 6. We're talking like 2028 at this rate. Maybe we'll get it out by 2027. If they get Stonewall Hill out this year, I think they can get Chapter 6 in by next year. But Stonewall Hill would have to come out by this year, ideally by the 2-year anniversary next November. And hopefully not while I'm on my trip this summer. But no, because I'm going on a trip this summer for like 2 months or so, there's a 100% chance they're doing the biggest update of the year during that time. So expect dungeons to fall this summer. Because I won't be around. Obviously, the second we get back, we'll be grinding dungeons like crazy if that does happen, hypothetically. But I will not be around for the launch of dungeons if that was to hypothetically happen. But once we get back a few weeks later or a month later, whenever it is, we'll grind it into the ground if it's worth doing so. Or we'll just check it out. It really comes down to what reward system they're putting on it. If it's just going to be XP and silver, or if it's actually going to be like, you know, uniques. Also comes down to if they're doing a point system or pure RNG system. Which I'm still in favor of point system over RNG drops, at least for something like that. Obviously for like individual bosses, obviously you would do RNG drops and stuff. But I don't know, there's still a lot up in the air as far as what they're going to do. As far as details on it, we don't really know much beyond milestones. They've been sharing a lot of stuff with milestones, like some of the little mini games that they're adding for it to kind of add some variety. Like I think the most recent leaks showed like some kind of smithing puzzle, which I'm curious if that's actually going to be worth it, because it looks like it requires no supplies. So I'm not sure what its XP rate is going to look like, or its knowledge rate is going to look like. But if you're really good at that puzzle, it might be a really good way to get smithing up on the alt accounts, or even just on our main. Because it looks like it requires no supplies, yet it gives you smithing XP. Which is one of the hardest skills to get in the game currently. Or at least expensive. Not the hardest, but it's one of the most expensive skills to max currently. Is smithing. Even after the AFK updates they did to improve it a little. It's still among one of the most expensive skills. Because the 3 most expensive skills are Alchemy if you're keeping all the potions. Smithing and Stonemason. Those 3. Those 3 just burn money like crazy. Though Alchemy does profit if you sell everything, I believe, in the current state of the game. Or depending on what route you go for it. But then you don't get any potions, which kind of defeats the point of even getting max Alchemy. Because you kind of want every potion you get as you go through. Because 500 Alchemy doesn't really help you that much if you have 0 potions by the time you finish 500 Alchemy. And I guess cooking might actually technically burn you money as well now. Like if you're power leveling cooking, I think it burns money now. Well, technically it always has. But most people obviously just do the things that don't burn money. Like eggs, stews, whatever else. Not sure what that full list is these days. I'm not sure if chestnuts do or not. There's one nice thing. Since I haven't done any combat in Chapter 2 yet, we actually have 10 whole combat levels there. We're going to get so many chestnuts. I'm not sure how good that dish is going to be when you consume it later down the line, whatever they end up doing with that system. But hopefully chestnuts are good, because we are going to have... Even though I'm not going to get any from botanists, we are probably going to be getting thousands of tier 9 chestnuts from doing combat there. So I'm curious to see how that ends up panning out. is once we reach tier 9 for that, I'm going to have so many tier 9 potatoes, so many tier 9 chestnuts, so many tier 9, I don't know, what else drops for cooking that would go for that? Actually, I think those are the main two. Because I don't think anything drops that leaks in Chapter 2, I don't think. I'll have a lot of fish too, but I'm not going to be at tier 9 yet. I'll have a lot of oysters. Got a lot of tier 9 oysters, that's for sure. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we have so many tier 9 oysters that I could literally max, actually, not even just tier 9, but all of them. There's a good chance I'm going to do so much of the oyster venture that, like, 70% of my total XP for chef could technically just be oysters. There's a non-zero chance that would happen. The only reason why that might not happen is lemon juice is really annoying to bank. All the cooking supplies there in general, I wish there was, like, a way to bulk buy at, like, 5 times the cost. I would buy, like, any ingredient in that shop with an extra 0 at the end of it if you could just instantly have it teleport to your bank. That would make them stack to 100 or something. The fact you have to buy them 24 at a time is so annoying for almost every cooking recipe that needs any amount. They're either going to make them stack to 100 or add some kind of, like, delivery service where you can pay, like 5 times, 10 times, 20 times their cost, but buy, like, infinite of them that teleport straight to your bank. Oh, so what did I miss? I forgot to grab the other shell. I was like, wait, why am I wrong number? I forgot to grab a shell on the beach. Let's grab a bone here, I guess. Or we could grab the really long kelp. That's just too far away. We're not going to bother with that one. Alright, one more lap at normal XP, then we'll go get the Mega XP potion out, and that should 100% be level 7. And then we'll go mess with potions a little bit, go get some potions to go kill the crow with, and then we'll go fight the final boss of the stream of the Death Crow at 5 levels above us. We should be fine with a plus 80 cryo. This will also be the first time that we ever use a potion this strong, which is previous max in the previous state of the game. Though it does go 20 levels higher now. It should be pretty strong with an 86% weapon. It's not 89%, but it's pretty close to max. And if only we had special attacks to go with it. I still can't believe that all that text is still here. This is like the main thing that drives me crazy as far as updates they didn't prioritize in the last year. It's probably like the only one. The fact that they had the special attack button since day 1, and there's still no special attacks. Like, just seeing it's like, I want to click it so badly. Obviously, these are 3-star weapons, so even if special attacks existed, we'd need 4-star to be able to use them. But still, I want them so badly. Yeah, this is the shell I forgot last cycle. That's why we were 1 item off. Just walked right past it. And the next set, we'll go use 11%, do 1 last lap, and then we'll have the level we wanted. Then we can do wall plant while killing the crow, but before we do, we're going to stock up on some potions that will assist us. Both the ones we got earlier of the AFK, just to show them real quick, and then we'll also go make the cryo so we can actually go kill it with it. As that'll be the main thing that will actually boost up our capability of killing it. And I think that's enough. Using a boost potion plus like 1 healing potion, even though it's 5 levels higher, I think we can kill it. I'm not going to be farming them that way, but I do want to go for the 1 kill since we can right now. And use some of the supplies we've been getting. This thing's what converts into it. One of these starfish with one of those water lilies that we're about to grab is what makes the potion that will allow us to kill the Death Crow. It's not particularly good XP at this level range, but it will be again once we reach the next tier. These are mostly just to have some just for exactly this moment. Like when we're about to boost early to kill something like this. Next time we'll use it is at like level 25 to kill the 31 carnivorous plant because it's weak to blue. That'll be the next time that we use it. But for now we get to use it for good value against crow. To be able to kill this other thing that's weak to blue early. Which is one thing still unique to combat. It's the only skill in the game that you can do stuff early and not counting passive potions for everything. Or active stuff if they add that to food. But, yeah, currently combat's the only skill that you can do an activity earlier than the level required for it. But right now, I could technically go kill level 43. That thing would demolish us, though. But we technically could. If we didn't mind chugging a billion potions, like 10 of them, we could kill this right now. We shouldn't try, but we could. Well, you can't do that for any other skill. Like, this Death Crow is 5 levels above us, yet we could actually go kill it. It's not like I can go do, like, a 5 level higher Forager right now. It's not like I can get, like, Shark Jaw or Periwinkle or something. I do hope that the food bonuses, one of them is active boost, though. Like a +1 to 10 active boost. Whatever food gets that, by the way, will be the most useful food in the entire game. We don't even need to know the buff of every other food. If they add an active +1 to +10 boost for any food item, that is now the new best food for the rest of time. Maybe not for combat and stuff, but, you know, just for boosting stuff earlier than you otherwise would be able to. The kind of XP rates and the resource routing you could do with that would be so strong. Alright, let's go use the big potion. And let's double dump this into our knowledge. And there's our level already, but I will do one more lap since we're already here. Want to use up the potion. Alright, there we go. I was thinking I get points for passive later, but I'm not at a point where I need a new passive, so we should be fine. Whatever passive I was doing earlier. Also, you know what's really nice about this passive too? There are some passives that utilize a tool. And in all of Chapter 1, I believe this is the only one that uses a tool. It used a tool in Chapter 2 too, but now that it's been moved to Chapter 1, it also uses a tool here. But actually, no, there might be a couple that do. But because I believe these use a pond net. But this one uses the trowel. And I believe the sea slug and the anemone, the other one in this room, these two, I believe these use the fishing net. They actually do apply the XP rate that you get for them. And while that XP rate isn't as good as it was before the update, because all the gold levels don't give you XP rate anymore, you can still upgrade to like 10% pretty easily with level 25. And that 10% is still applying. So sea slug, sheep rib, and I believe the only other one in this chapter is anemone. All those are a really good passive to do, because whatever percent bonus you have on your tools applying to them. So something like our 10% XP bonus on this trowel. When I do the sheep rib later on, I was also doing a little bit earlier. Like that one right over in this room, we will get 10% more XP for the entire duration that we AFK it. So even though its XP reward is minus 90%, or, you know, 90%, we're technically getting 99% since our 10% is multiplicitly stacking onto it. So even though this says it's a 90% activity, it's actually a 99% activity. It's something I wish it would denote in game, but it's actually 99% because the tool upgrade is going on top of it multiplicitly. It affects several things, but for whatever reason, it doesn't tell you what it does in game. But it is doing it if you like check the difference, if you were like to upgrade your tool and everything. Works the same way that it did in Chapter 2 back when it was in Chapter 2, but now it's in Chapter 1. It worked the same way that the Bone Rake did in Chapter 2, but now it's a trowel instead. But I believe there's only 3, unless I'm forgetting one. But the Sea Slug, Sheep Rib, and Anemone are all absurdly good to do for passive for Forager. Because all of them have a tool bonus, so if you have that tool bonus, then at least 10%. Or even just upgrade at all, even if it's only like 4% at level 10. You're getting quite a bit of a benefit compared to every other activity. Or even if it says low XP, it's still good XP. But the Sea Slug being particularly good, because I believe it was 100% XP for this? Yeah, it was 100%, which means it was actually 110%. Since our full 10% got to stack with it. And I forget what Anemone is at. Let me go double check. Anemone, what percent did you get for Anemone? If it's 100% or higher, it must be really good. Where is it? It's definitely worth regardless. No, it's also 99%. Because it's 90% and then the 10% goes into that. So it comes out to 99%. Since you're just boosting up what's already there. For example, if it was 110%, it would go to 121%, for example. It's not moving up by 10% since it's multiplying the full thing. Alright, let me go put all this away. And we should be good to go. Alright, so let's go teleport to Hopeport real quick. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way. Let's go make just one quick inventory of Enrage. Because this is our highest tier thing that we got access to. I'll probably be processing all these off stream. But I do want to do one set. And then I want to go make a inventory at least of the potion that we're going to use to go kill our final boss of the stream, which is the Death Crow. We're going to go kill the 5 level higher Death Crow using the previously max Cryonate potion. That is now 20 below current max. But still really strong, obviously. It's still as strong as it was before. Alright, what am I grabbing here? We need Bell Plant and Pondweed. Luckily, this is right here. Grab that, grab Pondweed. And this is for our AFK potions. Not something we'll be using on stream today, or possibly ever. Because obviously they're meant for AFKing. However, these things are amazing. 7-minute AFK with 1 click. These are like the only thing I wanted from this milestone update. Everything else doesn't matter. This is the only thing that matters in this whole update. Like, they could have done anything else, and it's like, okay, I just want my enrage potions. This is the whole time. Ever since I saw they were adding 3 potions, I knew one of them was going to be enrage. Because they were just going to do inverse fear potion, which, you know, is what an enrage potion is. And I knew that this would be the only thing I would care about from the update. Surprisingly, they did enough other good stuff that it wasn't the only thing. But this was definitely, like, the thing. That just could have been the whole update and it would have been worth it. As this is the best, like, AFK activity in the game. Well, actually, in the game now. Not making these, but actively using these. Or, inverse of that. AFK using these. These get so much value per click. So it allows you to do other stuff while, you know, still getting absurd progress in the game. And it gives you 100% combat XP too. You are getting a little bit less because you have to fight a weaker enemy. But otherwise, it is giving you your full value of all the things you kill. It's just, you have to kill something weaker. Like, if I was to use it right now, I'd have to do it on Ghoul. Which, if I was to look at my Ghoul XP rate right now, I'm only getting 216k. Whereas if I was fighting something that I could actually, you know, consistently be doing at this level range, instead of that, I'd be getting, like, 40, 50k more. Like, I'm getting, like, what, 20, 30% more by actively playing instead of AFKing. And if we were to, really actively play and kill something even stronger, we'd be getting, like, over 60k more per kill. But it lets you AFK for the full duration, in this case 7 minutes. It's really nice. How much do we have to waste per thing, though? Yeah, it's only 10 silver if we were to sell it. So it's almost 1 silver per minute, compared to if we sold it. So that's pretty cheap. I think if we were to buy it, it's like 2 silver a minute. But if we gathered all of our own supplies, which we did for these, finally, since that's what our forager grind did, of course. We got these for free, but we're still effectively costing 1 point something silver per minute. Like 1.2, 1.3. Because even if you get them for free, you still have to put into account the cost or the price if you were to just sell them compared to using them. So we are burning like 1.3 silver a minute. Instead of like over 2 if we were to buy it. Like slightly over 2. So there's still a cost to using them even when you get them for free. It's just nowhere near the cost of, you know, buying the supplies. Especially once we get even higher tiers, that the disparity between the two numbers would be higher. Alright, next, let's get the potion that I actually want to go use right now. These are really bad XP rate for our level range. However, of course, we were getting a ton of, what is it called? Seashell? No, not that one. Starfish. We were getting a ton of starfish. As well as a ton of, well, maybe not as many. But some amount of pond, no, not pond. What's it called? Water lily. W. And with some amount of water lilies. And with these combined, this is the previous max Cryonate potion of plus 80. With the new max being the 100 at tier 9, of course. With it going up by 5 each time. So next tier will be 85, then 90, so on and so forth. But it is the 100 right there. But 80 is still just as strong as the plus 80 before this update. And these things are quite a lot of power. I've never actually gotten to use one of these before. It's about the equivalence of like a 1-star to 4-star difference in the current state of game. Maybe even more than that. If you're using the main primary weapon that has, you know, like 80% plus, it is about the equivalence if you had like an 80% weapon of your color. It is roughly the difference between a 1-star and a 4-star for how much power it has. And you get even more value from it if you're doing something that's weak to that color, of course. So you would get it regardless if you were fighting something. As long as they're not immune, of course. But we're getting even more value because it's vulnerable to it. Hey, we got a level 2. Nice. Yeah, let's go test these out in the crow. And that'll be the final thing we do. The triple wall plant into crow. Oh, so that's why we need this level, by the way. It's for wall plant crow. If you're wondering why we're getting that level, I'm not sure if I explained that earlier. I was just kind of doing it, but yeah, that's the whole reason. Wall plant into crow. It's not like mega AFK, like, you know, an enrage potion would be. But it is definitely the next gameplay loop that we probably need to start prioritizing. So it'd probably AFK combat to the point where we could do it without needing to drink these. But I don't know, maybe we'll just make all these somewhat AFK and just, you know, use them. I just hate that we're getting almost no alchemy XP for this. Like, with the new milestone update, it's not, like, horrifically bad XP to be making these. But there are so many things we could be doing for better value than making these. But since we already have them banked, it's not that bad. Like, if we had to go buy all the supplies, I definitely wouldn't. But the fact that we can make, like, 200 of these just from stuff we already have banked is kind of fine. Water lily is the main thing that's going to bottleneck us ever. Because starfish is so free to get with any routing. But Water Lily will always be the bottleneck for how many of these we could ever make at any given level range. Which means that tier 8 and tier 9, I will be routing in a way that gets more Water Lilies. This is very important to do so. Same as if you're a Hammer Mage, you'd want to route in a way that would get more Limpets and most notably the Hogberries. As Hogberry is probably the one you'd be more bottlenecked on, even though there's an enemy that drops it, the plant guy. That one plant thing drops Hogberries. Pretty rarely though, I feel like I've gotten none since the update on him. But the routing that you normally do would get way less Hogberries than you would Limpets. The main reason for that is the room where the bank-in has Limpets in it. Whereas you have to go out of your way to get Hogberries, which makes Limpets way easier to do. Okay, anyways, let's go kill the final boss this stream. We got 12 attempts. It shouldn't take more than one though, hopefully. We got 40% heals and 80 of the other thing. Oh yeah, speaking of heals, look at that, 46% heal potion soon. 40% way more than enough though. Alright, so I should have grabbed this 3. But the gameplay loop here would be, hey, missing pairs around. Alright, let me go grab that. But he's been starting a new RuneScape series lately. Alright, so we'll grab these 3. We will now poke one of them. And then immediately chug a potion. So we'll do this. Chug the potion. And then obviously use our blue weapon. And can we kill it without a heal potion? Come on, keep hitting blue. We don't want to see any number that isn't blue. Anytime we hit physical, our potion's doing nothing. All we want to see is little blue splats every time. Okay, these plus 80s are insane. Oh, wow. That is a lot of power. That is a lot of power. Oh yeah, I should probably be using a luck potion here too. Okay, that's more power than I was expecting. Oh, I should have grabbed Water Lily. I mean, I should have grabbed the thing there. So the way that you would do this is you would get 1 kill, then grab all 3, then get 1 kill, then grab all 3, then, you know, repeat forever until your inventory's full, then bank, then repeat. I forgot to grab 3. But yeah, that is strong. I kind of want to show what a kill would be like if we didn't pot up. I'll do that for the next one. Just to show how much power this is giving us. Notice how we have like half our HP bar. And then the next kill, we're probably going to have to chug like 2 healing pots. Wow, that is a lot of power. More than I was expecting. I'll test it on the next crow. So this next crow, I'm not going to use any boost pot at all. There's also, even though I haven't really been using plus 40s, plus 80s and stuff like this are just so strong. So we will get our 3 hits in since we have the time. But here, we're probably going to have to heal once, twice even, to be able to kill him. But this one boost potion was able to do. Plus, it even made him die quicker. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to make all these. I did not realize, like, plus 70 pluses are that good. Because the best I ever used before was, like, a plus 60. Which is strong, but... yeah, that extra little bit really goes a long way. Okay, notice here I already need a heal pot. Yeah, we were at half HP on the other one. I don't think we're going to need a second heal pot, though. Well, we definitely need the heal once. Compared to before, where we're, like, half HP. Let's grab our wall plant. Get our doubles when applicable. Let me see the thing. I won't be able to get it. No! Oh, I'll mention it when he comes back. I was gonna mention this series thing that he was doing for the other thing. I haven't actually talked to him much in game. I feel like I've talked to almost like no one much in game though, in all fairness. Unless someone says hi to me, I'll like say hi and like chat some. But I feel like I never engage conversation with anyone else in the game ever. Was it because I was like too focused on my grind to ever bother stop doing the grind? But yeah, plus 80 is so good. Now I kind of want to get plus 100. We're going to get it eventually. We're going to get supplies for it on our way to 500 Forger, obviously. Alright, there we go. Oh, let's see. Grab our plants. But I believe he has to do like a max Forger grind with like limited rooms currently because he's doing a region locked account or room locked account. So he's got to do like a max Forger grind right now with like half the supplies that you could ever take. I feel like that's something I would never do though. Like for old school RuneScape or this game or any game. Like a restricted account that would make a like 10,000 hour grind move to like 50,000 hours. Like the first number is already big enough without making it bigger. Like, some people make series like that entertaining, but gosh, I would never bother making one of those. It just seems like such a waste of time. Unless your series, like, really pops off, in which case the money from it makes up for the time you would lose. But otherwise, like, locked, restricted accounts like that just seem so weird in the sense that you're taking a genre that already takes, like, 1 billion hours to complete, and then making it take even longer. As if that starting number wasn't already long enough. Like, I was actually checking my hardcore's playtime that I made 3 years ago. Actually, it'll be 3 years in about 1 month from now. But it is over 10,000 hours. I'm not even halfway done with the game. And the account time is at 10,000 hours. And there's no restrictions other than it being hardcore. AKA, it can't die. But aside from that, it has no restrictions. And that's an official restriction. It's not like an extra restriction. But aside from being a hardcore Iron Man, it has no restrictions at all. And it's still only like halfway done at the game after 10,000 hours. So to somehow make that go even higher just seems crazy. Given that that number is already crazy high. I believe this bank is quicker than using the middle one. We can also grab a kill here if we really wanted to. So we'll do this, deposit that, get a kill right here. Though getting a kill here in the next room doesn't really matter that much. We'll do one here just for the variety of rooms. We'll keep room hopping. Unfortunately, the other 3 wall plant aren't here. It would have been great if 3 wall plant were here and 3 were over there. But where this bank is. But the only problem with this bank is it's kind of awkward because, yeah, you do have to go to like a little bit of downtime. Everything with wall plants kind of awkward, honestly. Oh yeah, these things drop shells, by the way. I forget if I mentioned that earlier, but they drop max tier shells. The bad thing about this is you're already going to get 1.5 billion max tier shells. The good thing about it is they do make XP pots, so if you just grab the other material, that's like max level XP pots. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because this is like one of the most common items you get from Forager. So the fact that they already give you something you're going to have 1 billion of is not ideal. If this was Starfish or something, that'd be cool. Because they're actually weak to that kind of element as well. So it would give you a drop that they're actually weak to. But no, these shells are kind of useless, honestly. I'll still be banking them, of course. But their value is pretty low. They do save us like 12 silver or 10.5. But we're already going to be banking literal thousands upon thousands of these things. And have almost nothing of the secondary material, which is periwinkle. But every single one of these, I guess it gives us the opportunity to buy a periwinkle to go with it. But we're already going to need so many periwinkles. If nothing else, I believe doing it that way does make the potion profit. I'm not sure if there's a single thing in the entire game for alchemy, though maybe so in the new format. But I'm pretty sure every single thing you can make in alchemy currently in Brighter Shores, if you source one of the material and then buy the other, assuming it is a material that, you know, is buyable from a shop, and then you sell the potion, not use it, but sell it, I'm pretty sure you profit on every potion. I could be wrong on that. There could be some new ones that aren't the case for that. But I'm pretty sure that's consistent for most potions. That if the material is buyable in the shop, and you forge one and then buy the other, or, you know, get one through some means, and then buy the other, I am pretty sure if you sell the potion, not use it, but sell specifically, I'm pretty sure it is, like, barely profit or, like, break even. Nice! Helmet upgrade. Never mind, too. I have a level. I can't even wield it, and it's a side grade. Though it is better. Do I keep it? Am I really about to store drift this thing? I guess I am. Alright, here you go. Actually, I might as well store drift all of this while I'm here. The helm's the only one that's useful, but might as well get them out of my inventory so I can bank more. But, yeah, it is an upgrade. It's technically a side grade, but, against the enemies we'll be fighting in the near future, it is an upgrade, so once we get that level, we'll wield it. But, of course, it does still have a level requirement. There is one thing that milestones, or not milestones, skill tree, if they do it like they originally said, would end up addressing. You would actually be able to go and wear equipment higher than your level. So I could, like, put my skill tree into higher competence into, for example, armor wielding, and I'd be able to go wield that. You'd also likely be able to use it for other classes' equipment and better weaponry as well, if they do it based on the original pitch or anything like that. Where you could basically increase your armor competence separately, as well as your weapon competence, as well as your other class equipment competence through the skill tree thingy, or however they're going to set it up. Something you can't do right now, though. You're locked to your current level. But there will potentially eventually be a point where you can wear stuff actually higher than your level range, if you spec for it, or, you know, skill tree for it in a certain way. I'm not sure how many levels, but some more amount than 0. Because right now the highest you can wield obviously is whatever your level is. Oh, I might actually need a heal pot here. This is not looking good. Oh, we're fine. You're not gonna die, right? You're fine. You're barely fine. Barely, barely, barely. Though if we were to die here, we don't get that far back. Also, at this point, I'm pretty much just doing this until we run out of potions, by the way. If you're wondering how long we're going at this point. I just figured since this is working out so well, we'll just use the 12 we had with us. So I'll go for one more kill after this one. But then, I think we're going to wrap it up for now. Gonna go grab dinner, do the other stream we do. Tomorrow is probably going to be a silent stream for Brighter Shores. Got a tooth that needs to be pulled, or probably later in the day, and probably also silent. But since we're doing it every single day, I figured we still do it tomorrow. But then hopefully by Wednesday we should be back to normal. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll see. Otherwise, Wednesday might also be similar to tomorrow. And then after that, 100% we should be back to normal by Thursday then. Hopefully. We'll find out. Should be though. Should be even by Wednesday, but just in case we'll have the extra buffer day. And if the weekly leak does come out a day later, I guess we'll cover it whenever we can actually talk properly again. Which should probably be Wednesday or Thursday. Because if it does drop tomorrow, I obviously can't really speak tomorrow. But we'll see what they do, if they even drop one this week. Because they might just skip a week given the, you know, how much busier they were. Alright, just for the sake of it, let's grab one more kill. I won't have a boost potion here, but we'll be fine. That's what healing pots are for. Yeah, let's see how much worse this is. We are 100% going to need one healing pot. I don't think we're going to need a 2, though. Let's see if we can get lucky enough to actually kill him with none. I don't think we can, though. He's one of those slow-hitting ones, so he's very variable in how much he can hit. So we have some chance of getting lucky, but because he hits so hard, he can also just go and just hit billion numbers every time. But he's really slow attack speed. Anything with a high attack speed generally has less variance. Anything with a slow attack speed has really high variance. Or I could die easily right here. Okay, good, I didn't. And down he goes. And we'll grab our last 2 wall plants here. And then that's that. That's pretty much the gameplay loop of this. Anyways, let's go bring him to his AFK activity. Where are we even going for this? I need to go to, the thing. So I just need to walk there. Alright, we're just gonna walk all the way to west side then. Because unfortunately, there's not a really good way to get to this in-between area. And based on where we're on, I think we just walk. Obviously, you could teleport to the corner there and then get down there. But based on where we already are, it seems like about the same distance as I need to bank anyways. But maybe not, because I could have banked at that new bank and then done it. Yeah, I think teleporting would have been slightly quicker. We're too committed to this, though. So we're gonna walk there. We'll take the scenic route. See the non-brighter shores with all the rain. But we'll take the scenic route there. Not too big a deal. Nothing else. I can grab some pondweed while I'm cycling through. Get some more AFK potions for when I need them tomorrow. As I'm probably going to be AFKing after the dentist. While I'm waiting for the pain and bleeding to stop. Well, the pain, I probably shouldn't feel that much pain, but the bleeding more so. But after the bleeding, or, you know, waiting for that bleeding to stop, we'll probably be AFKing the, what's it called? I'll probably be AFKing the, not that, the ghouls. I just AFK those. What's their drop rate? They're good XP. Their modifier's bad, though, which is unfortunate. Honestly, I feel like modifier's the most important thing out of any of those when it comes to enemies. Like, their XP rate doesn't matter at all. Their knowledge rate doesn't matter at all. Literally, the only thing that feels like it matters is their rarity rate. Because that helps you so much more, because better armor and better gear just helps you, you know, kill better. So they technically give you better XP and knowledge rate and rare rate. Because every upgrade you get, you know, saves you time across the board. Because you'll be less likely you'll need a heal. You can kill things earlier than you otherwise would be. You can AFK stuff at a higher degree. You can kill stuff quicker. Like, it just helps you so much more than just like a few % extra XP or knowledge does. So it definitely seems like the most important one. Which one thing that's really nice about this chapter, because one of them's weak to blue, which of course is the crow that we were just killing. Actually, what's all the distributions? Let me see. So the guards are just average. Crow is great, it's plus 50. Thief, which we can't do, is minus 25, so they don't really matter. Though they do drop a good XP pot that I need to go check this time around. These have minus 50%, which is kind of unfortunate because these one of the AFK ones we could do. Great for XP, but loot modifier minus 50 is awful. This guy is plus 50. This is the other one I was farming all my gear on. I even have like 25s just sitting here, as well as this was made with 25s. It's actually the last equipment I have from that. I think this used one of the pieces of the 25s I got combined with some other stuff. But these two are like the last remnants of all my 25 grinding I was doing. There was one point where we're at like full tier 3, tier 2 of like everything from it. We got it in like one day. It was just so much stuff. But these two also use components from that grind of the 25 stuff. This one combined with other higher rarity stuff, and this one combined with slightly lower stuff, which is why it went down a level rather than exactly 25. Because not all of them were 25s. It was like 124 to 123, which made it one level lower, unfortunately. But, yeah, so these are really good. So it's basically Death Crow into Goblin into, I think, Beast? Yeah. So that's the route for this chapter. Those are the only three those are the only three enemies in chapter 1, not counting these because they're so free to kill on Cryonite. But not counting Carnivorous Plant that just stays there and is weak to blue, which is really nice for Cryonite. There's really just 3 enemies in chapter 1. It's Death Crow, Goblin Chief, and Beast, because they all have the 50% loot modifier. Not sure how different that is for every other chapter, but for this chapter, it has a really nice distribution. You get one early, you get one in the middle, and you get one at the end. If you need to offset into another enemy, you have Carnivorous Plant, which is really good for Cryonite, as well as if you're a Hammer Mage. I think this is weak to yellow at this one. Not the one I'm trying to look for. Never mind, it's immune to yellow. Ignore that. So, yeah, it works really nice for Cryonite, this distribution. Though I think this one is weak to yellow. Yeah, that one is. So that one you could AFK in the middle is weak to yellow. Whereas Death Crow is weak to blue. Whereas if you're a Guardian, oh wait, you get one of each, right? No, that wasn't one. Yeah, Guardians just get, the short end of the stick there. Guardians have no option. At least for chapter 1. Obviously for other chapters, that would be different. But when it comes to chapter 1, Cryonite and Hammer Mage seem to be way better for going through this chapter. With Cryonite in particular, looking like it has a really nice distribution. As the very first thing that you get access to is weak to blue, as the good modifier. This one, yes, is weak to yellow, which is good for Hammer Mage, so it gets a really strong middle. But the nice thing about Cryonite is this is weak to blue. And then you get like a nice average one that's really easy to kill after, because it's stationary. You know, this guy right here. And at the end, no one has advantage on it. Or sorry, not that one. But then at the end, no one has advantage on Beast. The only big issue with Beast is this is actually worse for Cryonite, because Cryonite is weakest to yellow. So it's kind of problematic. So I guess that's one thing that's not as good. So maybe Hammer Mages do have the best cycle through these then. Because that's the only slight downside is the final enemy that we have to kill does yellow damage. And our defense is worse for yellow. And it might look like, oh, we only have 20 less defense for yellow. That barely matters. It matters quite a bit. It matters for the same reason that plus 80 that we were using before absolutely demolished every enemy we touched. Is the same reason why minus 20 for yellow is kind of problematic. As every little bit of difference around your level range is a huge amount of power in one way or the other. And yeah, they hit pretty hard with minus 20 yellow. It's basically like we're giving them a plus 20 boost potion effectively. For how much, you know, they're hitting us harder from having that disparity. Which is not good. Not as strong as giving them a plus 80, but still makes them hit pretty hard. But anyways, guys, we'll end here for now. We will be back tomorrow. I have no clue what time, but we'll still go for about an hour or two. Might be silent because I'm getting tooth pulled. But after that, hopefully we'll be back to normal starting Wednesday. Otherwise, it'll be by Thursday if I'm still not feeling okay from the tooth on, you know, by that day. But assuming I am, we should be back to normal by Wednesday then. Otherwise, Thursday. And yeah, we'll keep grinding. Keep getting the forager grind. Keep passiving it. Keep AFKing actively the combat. Go make a bunch of potions for everything so we can do combat and AFK and everything else. Soon even healing potions. Which I don't have the other component yet. Oh, yes, we did. That was the wall plant. Oh, yeah, I didn't bother making some of those this stream. Oh, yeah, because I can't. I don't have the alchemy level. I know why. Otherwise, I would have. I need 2 more alchemy levels. But yeah, we got all the supplies for making the healing potion. It requires the tier 6 version, which we were just grabbing, of these two. Obviously, the kelp we got from the beaches stream, and then the wall plant we were literally getting while, you know, killing the crows. So the only thing stopping me is 2 alchemy levels, which of course we'll have by, who knows, maybe by tomorrow, but definitely by Wednesday. And yeah, then we can make 46% healing potions, which is great because my current one I'm mainly using is 40% right now. I don't think you really need to overkill that much, but you know, having more healing potions would never hurt. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week, wonderful presents today, and I will catch you guys later. Otherwise, yeah, goodbye everyone. Thanks for watching.